Hi and welcome to another episode of Mark's Motivational Podcast. Today it's great to be joined by another great author, Julieta Cuellar. It's great to welcome
Refer to me as Juliet here, yes?
Juliet on the podcast today. She's an author of two books, a new book coming out very shortly. So Juliet, it's delighted to have you on today. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for the invite, Mark.
yeah,
Look
no, you're
forward to our
welcome. No,
discussion.
great. And so you might just start the podcast off if you want to tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and the books you've written would be brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, my formal name is Julieta Cuellar. My parents are from Mexico. I'm here in the United States in Texas. So I am in Cypress, Texas. I've been here. I was born in North the U.S., but I was raised here in Texas. I'm a bilingual, and I am bilingual in Spanish and English. My first language is Spanish. My dad really wanted us to keep that pure Spanish in home, and I learned my English out in school. So more on that in a little bit. But I have two boys. I have a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old boy in elementary. Just got out of elementary, that is. And I've come from a family of six, so lots of nieces and nephews in my life, lots of parties and lots of engagements. And what else can I say here? So I actually, my profession is in information technology agile coach. I work in corporate America. I have been for more than 25 years. And just began wrote my first book earlier this year and just got it published. And so just really expanding my creative side and enjoyed it as a hobby to kick it off, but I just love it. I love the new engagements with children. And yeah, so look forward to visiting schools and other places I can engage with children to encourage that reading, that love for reading.
That's great, Julia. Congratulations on your books. They look great.
Thank you.
Do you want to, the book you have today is the book that's coming out that you've just released, isn't it?
So I released earlier in October, I released my first book. It's
Yeah,
called Chasing My Dreams.
yeah,
So that's available out on Amazon,
mhm,
out on the internet, and
yeah.
it's about a young girl who envisions what career options she could have. So I encourage you all to pick up a copy and I wrote it. If I'm allowed to go into that conversation,
Yeah,
I
brilliant. Yeah,
wrote
yeah,
it. Yeah, so I wrote it inspired by, when I was growing up, I didn't have someone that I could I learn a lot by shadowing or seeing things that I like. I
yeah,
follow it, but I didn't have a professional Latina, someone that resembled me, that spoke like me, had the similar upbringing as me.
yeah.
And I think being again in corporate America, I was more surrounded by older gentlemen, and so different vibe, different ways of working. And I wanted to be able to provide that role model for again children who may be dual language, who may not have folks who have attended a college before. So I want to inspire all children to be able to have that grit, chase their dreams, and be whatever they want to be. So I treasure that book. It's just a joy because it presents just different career choices that one could be, as be it an engineer, a pediatrician, or information technology. And and it's been lovely, beautifully received by a lot of folks who want to encourage that. Amongst their children. And but as I was writing it, I was able to get an illustrator who did a phenomenal job with those images, and it was just beautiful, whimsical, colorful illustrations. But it takes a while, as you all know, to get those illustrations, the right detail. So
Mhm.
in the meantime, I wrote a second book, and now focusing on a male character, a Latino male character. And this one is more focused on nature. I have two boys,
Mhm.
and I would love to get them outside of the house. Let's
Yeah,
not be focused on TV. Let's not watch
mhm,
these
yeah,
movies and shows,
yeah,
and let's go move around a bit. And we loved exploring the outdoors. And I learned so much as a mom, but my children would go out on these trails, pick up the rocks, pick up these sticks, and check everything out. And just the observation, the smells, the sounds, the ants, the bugs. I loved it. It was very hands-on nature. And I said, you know what? Let me just kind of focus on that. And I just wanted to, I guess, commemorate or just kind of give that back as my kiddos. We loved it. And I guess I also just want to inspire folks to, let's drop those phones. Let's actually enjoy this beautiful world that we live in.
Yeah,
So I do
definitely.
have a copy of this one that's going
Oh,
to be
cool.
released here in November. So this
Brilliant.
is Mateo's Nature Walk.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm happy to be presenting this here forward in a bit.
Great stuff. And could you would you mind maybe reading a bit of that new book
I'd
for
love
the
to.
people
I'd
watching on
love
YouTube and
to.
listening on the podcast? It'd be brilliant. Thanks
Oh,
very
I'd,
much.
I'd be excited to. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you for the opportunity. I
yeah,
don't know how much time I have, but I'm happy to read
yeah.
a page or two just to give you a context.
Yeah, I feel of
Um,
it. Yeah, yeah. Because your
yeah,
books
for
sound great.
sure.
Like, it's great that you've done that with your own children. Like, to like, because I've got kids, I got to get them off the devices. So it's a great
Yeah,
book for anybody that's
yeah.
reading it to give them ideas. So that's absolutely perfect. Well done.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hmm.
So again, so this is Mateo's nature walk, and if you can see in the image, we're already observing a cute little frog here, and
Brilliant.
we
Yeah.
learn so much by the viewing and seeing and touching. And this one, I really just want to call out. I dedicate this one to my sisters Rosie and Sandra, who've made my life so colorful and have taught me so much and make my own life joyous. So I will begin reading this book. So if you guys
Sure.
can see
Look
the
forward to this.
beautiful
Thank you.
detailed pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it says, you hear the sound of the wind and the babbling brook. It's a beautiful day. Let's go take a look. Let's join Mateo on his nature walk. Let's breathe fresh air and look out for a hawk.
Wow.
Today's a sunny day, so he walks us to a river. Check out those fish swimming and those worms, how they slither. And I'll pause here just to point out that a lot of these pages have a lot of detail. And so I think a lot of it too is that we can observe kind of these worms here, these fish swimming, and just, there's so much in nature. And
Hmm.
you'll see, I'll pause it here, but just every single page is rich with the many things that can be out in nature. And this, again, I just wanted to caption my heritage from Mexico, where we have our prickly pears, and then the fruit that comes from it. So
Yeah.
lots of
Yeah.
learning. And then again, here at the end, just tips for parents in terms of how to make your next explorations outdoor and to be an
Brilliant.
adventure walk, right? So just tips and tricks about packing a snack and just parking it out, just how to make it exciting and put some educational pieces into it. So check it out. I love my book, so I hope you guys will love it as well.
Yeah. Some great, like, the illustrations are lovely and really really well done.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. And
Yeah.
if I can, since I have the microphone a little bit, I'll share that this book I have also made it in Spanish.
Oh
Un
wow.
paseo
Yeah.
con Mateo. Yes, and
Brilliant.
so
Yeah.
I'm
Great stuff.
excited again. So this was fun and creative for me because I now speak English more predominantly, and
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
work and in
Hmm.
school. And so I had to get creative on using my rhyming words in Spanish as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
It's
So you'll
absolutely
enjoy it
lovely.
too.
Really good. And did you self-publish the books, or did you get a publisher yourself to...
I self-published. I'm self-publishing both of them. Again,
Okay.
two
Yeah.
distinct illustrators, and that was one of the loveliest piece about this and getting the stories come to life, and was
Yeah.
have been able to publish them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant because they're I love all the books. The pictures really tell a really good tale of the book, and then at the end, the way it's given parents great ideas for days out. So that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So a lot of it, Mark, is I just want to be able to go into schools and encourage. I want parents to read to their children. A lot of folks
Yeah,
don't practice it on a norm, and children copy what they see.
definitely.
And I'm proud to say, perhaps I don't read all the time, but my children do see me read in the evenings, and so they pick up the books. And reading is such a fantastic way to pick up vocabulary, Mark.
Definitely.
Like I
Yeah.
said, my parents, my my parents don't dominate the English language, and so I know for sure I picked up many vocabulary words to help me stay on top of things
Yeah.
through reading, getting involved in these great, thrilling books that are out there. So I just want to encourage other folks to, parents to spread that love of reading into their children as well.
Yeah, great. Because the first book you have like on a bookmark there as well, Julie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chasing my dreams.
Chasing Your Dreams, yeah. That's great.
Unfortunately, someone requested my book earlier,
Yeah, you were
and of
saying that,
course,
yeah.
I feel with pride I love to dedicate
Of
the
course,
books
yeah.
to encourage that. But yeah, so
Mm,
feel free to check it out. It's out on Amazon, Chasing My Dreams, and you'll love it. It's very inspiring. So November is Career Development Month, and
mm.
so highly recommend it to for career days at school. Here in the U.S., we like to encourage that. Dress up with your characters, and this will give you some great ideas as well.
Great stuff, yeah. And
Thanks.
and did it take you? No, you're welcome. And did it take you long to write these books, Julia?
Yeah, good question. So I began earlier this year. I had some personal things going on in my life, had a little
Yeah.
a break of some sorts, and it just came, sat down, and kind of it came out. Lots of editing. There's lots of
Mhm.
editing that goes
Yeah,
on
yeah,
as you do things one day and you think through things. I would read these to my children, and they would laugh or giggle at certain things or give me ideas in others.
yeah.
And again, I have a sister who's a pre-K teacher and would get information from her as well. So
Mm,
both of these books have seen
yeah.
their different storylines changed a little bit, some words here or there. But it's just a joy to be able to put it together.
Great stuff. And what age group are they for? What age group?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the question. So these are aimed for elementary students.
Okay.
So, between 5 and 10 years old,
Yeah.
they can read them themselves or have someone read to them as well.
Yeah.
So, to get that engagement.
Because I love the idea of these books, like when you write a book, to have the option of reading it to your children, and then as they get a bit older, they can have a laugh, remembering you reading it to them, and kind of it'll be easier then. Would you find that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. And it's so funny. I had my sister share this story, how she shared it with a young lady who had paused on finishing her college career and read the book and just felt it spoke to her like
Wow.
we need to continue. Don't give up. Keep chasing those dreams. Like let's have that grip. Let's be unstoppable. And
Hmm.
sometimes you need that push sometimes.
Yeah.
So just stay at it. Stay at it. Stay out, be a go-getter and complete those things. So happy to encourage anyone at whatever age to
Yeah.
it's about goal setting. There's some goal setting involved in there in terms of, having that goal, creating that plan and getting there. So yes, it's a children's book, but I hope it puts that fire in terms of not giving up, not giving up. So
Yeah. No, I
yeah,
love that aspect of your books, the encouragement you put in them. So well done for that. That's brilliant.
thank you, and that is my hope.
Yeah.
I love to be an encourager at all levels,
Mm.
whatever age you give me, and be it a colleague, be it a sister, be it a brother, whomever.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy life and be the best we can each be.
Great
Yeah.
message. Thank you for that. Absolutely great message. And as well as it being on Amazon, your books are on sale on Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
That's right.
Yeah. And
That's
do you
right.
have many bookshops as well? Have you entered any bookshops or libraries as well?
So again, I'm new to this, so that is my
Yeah.
next phase. So
Great.
again,
Yeah.
lots of
Yeah.
learning.
Mhm.
I'm happy to say I have gotten great reviews out on Amazon for my
Brilliant.
first
That's
book that
great.
got out. So yeah, so I'm reaching my goal at a time. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was one of my goals, to get some nice reviews, and I love that it's picked up. Been picked up lovely, and so now I'm more encouraged to go knock there on Barnes and Noble. It's available online through Barnes and Noble, but I'd love to be able to go and do a reading there and see it on the shelf and visit other bookstores as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready to take it to that next level. And I'm very anxious again as to go visit schools, like I said,
Mm.
Girl Scouts, just different places where I can help encourage.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Absolutely great idea.
Thank
Uh,
you.
no, you're welcome. Can I just ask as well, Julia, where did the writing start for you? Have you always been a writer? Where did the journey begin?
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to apologize. I have to be very authentic here on the line. In the room that I'm at, if I don't move a little bit, my
Yeah,
lights
you
may
know.
turn off. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope you can appreciate just being a little authentic here.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, so growing up, I'm more of a shy in nature. I tend to be reserved with myself. I'm more of an introvert in that I can socialize, I can chat here, but I'd much rather be in my room reading a book and spending time with myself. And
Yeah.
and I used to journal. I used to love to journal, write letters to my sisters, and just as a form of communication. So I've always loved that. I contemplated being in communications when I went into college and was recognized for it. So I always had it on the side. I've continued reading books. But it wasn't until here, as an adult, as I became a mom and I would read to my two boys, that
Yeah.
I was more exposed to children's books. So unfortunately, I didn't have many children's books read to me when I was younger. So this was my exposure more to
Yeah.
children's books.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love the rhyming. I love the funny storylines. And my two boys and I, we would just laugh and we would walk around the house and create our own stories. And we'd make rhyming. It was fun and it was
Yeah.
easy. We'd make up stories of dragons and of
Brilliant.
tigers,
Yeah.
and it was
Great.
exciting. It was
Yeah.
exciting. And the three of us would say we should write a book, and it was kind of a joke or kind of a far off wish. And as time goes on, like I said earlier, I had a little break there. I had some things going on, and I'm like,
Mhm.
we could. I have been doing reading. The internet gives us so much great information, and
Yeah.
you spread your network and you find out little bits here and there about publishing and illustrating. And I said we could probably accomplish that, set together those goals. And so I brought my kids along with the journey and would
Right.
write these things down. And like I said earlier this year, I took them along in the steps, and so kind of flourished into the writing of the first book. So it's
Mm.
been exciting. It's been an exciting journey.
Yeah. Look, congratulations. It's a great story the way, because like I'll be the same with my children. Like you get some great stories and great inspiration from them. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
having written these, Mark, I'm now hearing from friends, very close friends, about what my next book should be like. So I welcome all of these suggestions, and your audience as well. Happy to take on suggestions and see what else we can
Great.
do to encourage children here in life. We have a lot of issues going on every which way we can, unfortunately, can pull from various case studies, but happy to continue the encouraging message along.
Mhm.
And like I said, I'm excited to be able to be a bilingual author, to have
Yeah.
that message
Brilliant. Yeah.
to
Absolutely
different
brilliant.
audience groups. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you find it difficult to make the book bilingual? Was that like a hard thing for you to do, Julia? Or
In the second language,
yeah.
I loved it. Oh, I loved it.
Oh yeah.
So
Was it kind of difficult? Was the process difficult? Sorry.
not it's funny because now the internet gives us Google Translate, so I
Yeah.
could kind of
Yeah.
test some of the word choices that
Mhm.
maybe I grew up with. And I'm proud though that I was using the correct terms. And
Brilliant. Yeah.
the challenge was to find correct rhyming words to make sure that
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
rhythm of the rhyme still fit.
Very good.
And in
Yeah.
Spanish, a lot of the words tend to have multiple syllables, so you kind of have to play with the rhythm. But it was a nice challenge to overcome.
Yeah.
So again, it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. I speak Spanish fluently, and
Yeah. Yeah.
but again, had to get creative with certain words that I'm not used to,
Mhm.
that I normally don't speak out in nature. So
Yeah. No, you've done a brilliant job. Absolutely brilliant job.
thank you,
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah.
I
Right.
appreciate that.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. And can I ask you as well, Julia, do you have a kind of a system you use in your writing, like where some people write a certain amount of words a day, or what way do you do it yourself?
Yeah, so again, I've this has been more of a hobby to me, so I don't really have a
Yeah,
complete strategy in terms of I have a full-time career, and I use this more
yeah,
as a hobby. And so
great.
I do have my scribbles, and I'm more wanting I'm trying to get creative again in terms of what I can encourage other children. I want to remove being the child that never gets invited to certain parties, or just help build self-esteem where I can. So I'm more motivated by that, like what are some gaps we can help close where I can be the voice for some children that need a voice somewhere. So that's my vision at the moment as well, to kind of incorporate that kind of storytelling.
Yeah. Can I just say to you as well, like by you reading that book there, you do an excellent job of reading it as well. Have you
Oh,
ever
thank you.
have you ever no, you're welcome. Do you kind of ever think of doing that kind of thing yourself? Like do you kind of narrate the book yourself?
Ah, interesting question. In terms of perhaps creating an audiobook, you mean?
Yeah, yes, yeah, an audiobook,
Oh,
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
excellent suggestion.
Yeah.
I had not thought about that, but that is not a I like that idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Yeah. Because I think Amazon having that kind of option, I think there is something you might want to investigate. They might have an option
Yeah.
that could help you along with that.
Oh, I love that. I love that challenge. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, right? There's different strokes for different folks. I don't know if you're familiar with that phrase, but
Mm.
some people prefer like the Kindle version, right? The
Yeah.
electronic version of reading
Yeah.
a book. Some
Yeah.
prefer the physical. And then there's audio. I'm all about audiobooks myself, and in long commutes and hearing
Definitely.
authors, you know, the intonations of the voice to switch it around as the different characters. I like that. I'm gonna have to look into that. Thanks for
Yeah.
the
No,
suggestion.
because the way you read it is really, really well. You really
I
explain it
appreciate that.
very well, you know. No, no, you're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
Yeah. And great. And can I just ask you as well, you kind of touched on this a little bit, but kind of what keeps you motivated in your writing?
Again, mostly is I just want that engagement with children. I love children. I love to empower them in whichever way I can. And that I want to be able to be that voice and be able to engage them, have them connect. And again, I just want to have that channel to be able to inspire them to I suppose a lot of families that I may run into that acquaintances in my family that don't have the don't have professional careers. Not everyone, but I'm just saying there's still a lot of places where we can inspire children who don't have that
Mhm.
example. So I want to lead by example. So I just want the opportunity to be able to. I'm trying to use this as a way in to help inspire children in whichever way I can, even if it's go speak to your counselors at your school and ask in questions. Don't, have the courage to ask.
Yeah.
Every question is a good question, and
Mhm.
and don't give up on yourself, right? So yeah, did that answer the question? I don't
Oh,
know if
yeah,
I went
definitely. Yeah,
around that
no,
one.
big time. So, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. You know, you're advising children and you're guiding them as well, like through your writing. So that's amazing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope to. And there's so many great authors there as well, Mark. So again, if I could just encourage children to pick up a book and enjoy it and realize it and in, go explore nature, pick up a book and away from the TV so much, away from those cell phones that we tend to all perhaps pick up a little bit too easy is my goal, right? So I would think any help is helpful.
Yeah, great. And can I ask you as well, Julia,
Yeah.
I've a bit keen interest in languages myself. So, did you go to school and speak Spanish, or English was your second language, was it?
Yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
the question. Thank you for
Yeah.
the question. So, like I said, my parents pure Spanish, and we kept pure Spanish at home. They did not like any mixing. So when I started kindergarten, I was the kindergartner who was a little bit blind, not knowing what the teacher was pointing at the color purple, and you kind of
Okay.
had to learn by fire. And so it was I hardly remember it now, but learned it while in school. I know now they offer bilingual classes where the teachers perhaps speak Spanish and English, and I don't know the studies enough to promote one way or the other, and I
Oh yeah,
wouldn't
no,
promote
you're
one way
fine.
or the
Yeah,
other. But
yeah, yeah.
I just know I struggled myself
Mhm.
to get to close that gap, and my dad did end up learning English, but he didn't have the professional corporate language that I now use here where I work. And what helped me close that gap was that reading, right? Well, yes, in
Yeah,
college, reading those books, but even growing up, reading those Sidney Sheldon books where he uses
yeah,
beautiful words and just captivating storylines, it just it helped me connect the dots a lot faster. And so lots of skills development and that. Okay, here I am.
yeah.
So
No, you're grand.
So this is the exciting part of um
No, that's fine.
I did warn us
Yeah,
that that may
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
That,
Sure, it's real life. That's what happens. Yeah.
that's
No,
right.
no, that's great. You know, because in Ireland, like your mates learn Irish in school. You know,
Okay.
and is in Mexico, is it the same situation? You're kind of your maid learn English, or is it an option? Is it optional?
So I was not raised in Mexico, so I
Oh,
can't
sorry.
speak
Oh,
specifically on
okay.
that.
Yeah.
But where I do visit, it's mostly Spanish. It's Spanish all around, right? Unless one goes to a certain private school. So I don't want to speak on it because I don't want to
Of
misspeak.
course, no problem. No.
But
No.
I believe it's pure Spanish all around, unless you
Yeah.
have, us
Yeah.
visiting and,
Yeah. No, because you've got such good
tourist
English as well.
sites.
Because you've got great English as well. Like, you must have a really good ear for languages.
Oh, I appreciate that. And the
Yeah, yeah,
books, reading helps tons for that.
yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. No, well done to you. Really good.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
when does your book go out? When does the new book go out for people who are
Yeah,
watching,
so
listening?
thank you for the question. So I'm here in November.
November.
So towards the end of November. So
Yeah.
yeah, very excited to get it out. And the first one again, Chasing My Dreams, it's my female character,
Yeah.
Itzel, and
Yeah.
now I have my male character, Mateo.
Great
So
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
look forward to him coming out into the world as well.
And did you have a book launch for your first book? Did you have a book
Thank you
launch?
for the question. So, yeah, so as I said earlier, I tend to be a little bit shy in nature, and as I
No, no
tell my
problem.
close friends, I
Yeah.
do not want any kind of, big
Yeah.
hurrah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my very encouraging friends tell me, Miss Juliet, this isn't for you, this is for your book. So we want to commemorate that you wrote your first book.
Yeah.
And I said, you know
Definitely.
what?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we do need a little celebration. So we did have a virtual book launch, and so
Mm.
it was very well received. But I'm just sharing here, just because it's on the top of my head that here in December, I hope to have like a small, just kind
Yeah.
of a
Right.
face-to-face book launch for both my books,
Mm.
and to just honor, right, certain accomplishments, and
Definitely.
I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I'm an author, and the books are out there, and hopefully it'll encourage others as well, right? Those
Yeah.
around me to
Brilliant.
continue to pursue their dreams. It's
Yeah.
never too late.
Definitely. No, well done to you. It's absolutely brilliant. How did you find the last couple of years, 3 years, where we couldn't go out into nature like with the pandemic? Writing, was that a barrier for writing, or how did you find that yourself?
Yeah, so more than anything, it kind of inspired more things, more
Mm.
connections out into the
Yeah,
world. So
yeah,
during COVID, what my kids and I could do, yeah, we could either be stuck inside the house or let's actually go to the park where there's nobody there. So we
yeah,
enjoyed the park. We enjoyed, observing all the trees and the rain and the dew and the
yeah,
beautiful, if we happen to catch a deer or just, so we did a lot of exploration. And, we'd come back, and when we would go out, I was good about taking like a sketch pad for my kiddos to write.
stuff. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I would capture our moments either via photography, so taking pictures of my kiddos, or jotting down certain beautiful. I love capturing the quotes of my children.
mm,
They're just and all children, they have these beautiful words, and I like capturing that. So you'll see I have my journal where I keep these just phenomenal quotes that they say. It's just
mhm.
so I enjoyed that as well, to just being able to capture certain memories that I wouldn't forget. So I enjoy doing that in life. Not so much I play around that that's a great thing we just did. I'll put it in my diary entry. So I don't really have a diary per se, but I do
Yeah,
like to journal and capture special moments so I won't forget as my children are growing up. And
definitely.
now
Yeah,
that I have all these examples, I hope to maybe incorporate them in future books. Yeah.
stuff. Great idea. Yeah, and have you many other ideas of books yourself?
So again, in development, my main focus was to get these two launched.
Of course. Yeah,
But
yeah,
now as I speak to you again, would love to pull some of these brilliant quotes that are just funny to be able to share them to the world as well. They caused me a giggle, or kind of insights that I wouldn't have had. So happy to share that with the world as well.
great
So
stuff.
we'll see in development, in development.
Yeah, brilliant. Great stuff. Yeah, well, whatever you do, you can send them over. Put them in the show notes as well to
Yeah.
add them to the podcast to keep people update your great work, you know?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
great. And can I just ask as well, your favorite authors to read yourself? What's your favorite kind of type of books to read yourself, Julia?
So yeah, so again, I work full time and I do lots of reading in terms of staying up to date with my corporate world. So when I relax, I enjoy my, just emotional love stories. It was all about Nicholas Sparks and like I mentioned earlier, Sidney Sheldon. I mean, intense drama,
Yeah.
suspense. And I read these books quite a long time ago.
Mm.
But I'm just pulling them back into my, my repertoire.
Yeah.
Um, the church that I go to, Pastor Greg Matt has some books out. So again, Finding God's Will is one of the ones that I recommend across. And so, I just like to flip and read. I love to reread, certain chapters that really capture me. So, yeah, yeah.
Great stuff. Yeah, brilliant. And do you ever listen to music when you write? Or, is that something you ever do?
I love your question.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so right now I'm all about the cello. So I don't know if you may be familiar with Hauser, who's one of
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
cello. Oh, I love it. I love to listen to it. Helps me concentrate
Yeah. Me too.
to be able to when I need to do certain work online or just to kind of help inspire, just kind of help me relax a bit and get my thoughts in place. So that's my concentration music, but ask me later about other music I might like.
Yeah.
It depends on the day, right? Depends on the day and
Yeah. Yeah. No.
what one is into.
No. That's great because some people like to listen. I like to listen to music that has no lyrics because
Yeah,
the lyrics kind of will put you off while you're writing. Really.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually me. That's actually me.
Yeah.
So again, it's that cello just I'd stick Beethoven as well, but I could repeat this music. I could be on repeat all day long. It just gets me there. Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, and can I ask you your favorite movies to watch as well? Do you have any favorite movies?
Oh, thanks for the question. I do have a couple of favorite movies. I'm not sure which to say at the moment. I'll say out loud, Anne of Green Gables. Have we heard of Anne of Green Gables?
I don't think I've seen that one. No, no, sorry.
Okay, well, it's actually based off of a book, and I recommend all females to go watch it.
Mm.
Beautiful story of Anne Shirley, who was an orphan, and it takes us through her life. And
Okay.
beautiful. They developed into a beautiful movie, so that's one I recommend. And but nowadays, with that question, I'm more into shows on Netflix, and just kind of those
Yeah,
shows
yeah,
entertain me.
yeah.
So the likes of Downtown Abbey
Um,
is delightful. What else keeps me entertained these days? Poldark. I don't know if you've
yeah,
maybe
that's
caught
good.
that.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
these engaging storylines.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Great stuff.
yeah.
Do you read any Spanish books as well as any Spanish authors that you can think of?
Yeah, thanks for the question. When I was younger, I dabbled in it with Gabriel Marquez and in my middle school, and I just wanted to again be able to read Spanish. So my dad was good about he never forced us to do anything, but he would encourage us to be able to
Right.
be able to write Spanish and read it. But more than anything, my dad had books that had quotes like quotes, these deep quotes and I just love the play on words, these just very profound quotes that I wish I could recite them to you. I need to work on my memorization, but so no, not I probably need to pick that up. You've challenged me that I probably need to pick up more because I know there's great Spanish
Mm.
authors.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I need to add that so I can pick up larger vocabulary words in Spanish. Yeah, I like that challenge actually.
Yeah, no, great. Because what I'm thinking there now as well, when you're saying earlier on about having your book in Spanish, that can kind of really help children to learn the language as well.
Also, yeah.
For like because they can have an English copy. I'm sure they can get a Kindle English and Spanish, and they can cross the
Yeah.
words. Just think that's a great idea.
Yes, absolutely. My children are an example of that. So they know my books in English and
Wow.
they
Yeah.
unfortunately they're not as well versed in Spanish. We know some words here or there, but I'm like, yes, we need to incorporate more of this in there. So that's a great idea as
Great
well.
idea. Yeah, because that's promoting the language. I think that's too. That's really really good.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and just have, knowing another language,
Yeah.
it opens up a whole other world.
Brilliant.
So
Yeah, it was definitely.
That's
And
lovely.
can I ask as well, did you ever get involved in any writers groups during the COVID situation, or now is that something you've ever done?
I missed it. In any what groups?
Writers groups, like, I'm involved in a writers group. I think we were speaking before we came to record. It's, where you meet up and everybody works out prompts every week, and the stories that come out of them are brilliant. Like, just interesting. Did you ever join any writers groups?
Okay,
Oh,
apologies. I couldn't,
sorry,
your voice
sorry
was a
about
little faint.
yeah.
So, like Facebook groups to help,
Well, no, these are kind of groups where different authors meet up
okay.
and you get
So
different ideas.
again, another item you're adding on my to-do list. Yeah, so
Mhm.
that's going to be new to me. So again, like I said, I tend to be solo. I tend to be,
Yeah,
do my thing, and it's so much more beneficial having that network, right, to help
definitely is. Yeah,
understand
yeah.
what other things are out there. So I need to add that on my to-do list to socialize and become, more in these groups. Yeah, you're right.
It gives you great ideas for people who are listening and yourself, Julia. Like the stories come out every week are awesome, really, really good. So it's
Yeah,
worth
no,
checking out.
thank you for that awesome suggestion. Great recommendation. Yeah,
No,
absolutely. We'll add
I'll
that.
send you the email of how to contact if you're interested, because
I appreciate
it's
that,
the
Mark.
Irish Slingers, and it's people all over the world, because through COVID they had Zoom people joining all over the world, so it's really good.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I'd welcome it. Yeah, please
Really
send it
good.
along. I appreciate that.
Mm. Yeah, so it's been absolutely brilliant talking to you on the podcast tonight, Julia.
Likewise, thank you for
Yeah,
the opportunity. This has been a joy.
yeah, great. And before you go, would you mind if I ask one more question? If you could give a bit of advice to people listening and watching on YouTube about writing, just if they're writers, what advice would you give them from your experience, please?
Just,
Keep them
yeah.
motivated.
Yeah, sure. Just sit down and do it. Just do
Yeah.
it. Sometimes the hardest part is getting that start, right?
Mm.
So just sit down, grab that journal and scribble it away. Those thoughts will come to you. And but don't stop. Continue to, whatever goal you have, write it down, keep going and don't stop. Be unstoppable. But the hardest part is, get that start going and you'll pull through.
That's great advice. Thanks very much, Julia. I'll be
Absolutely.
taking that one on myself.
Wonderful. I can't wait to read your books, Mark.
Yeah, thank you. There's a really good book. I don't know if you came across it before as well. It's called The Artist's Way. Julia Carmen. Have you came across that before?
No, I have not. The Artist Way?
Yeah, like it's basically, I don't know if you ever experienced. Have you ever experienced writer's block when you're writing your books? Has that happened to you?
Yeah.
And how did you
Yeah,
overcome that?
absolutely.
How did you deal with that yourself?
I've had to learn to kind of separate myself, give myself my own time and separate it. Let's go do a stroll. Let's go do
Yeah,
an activity, do some house chores, and then come back to it because I don't want to waste time when you're just,
yeah,
you can't get past that mental block.
yeah, yeah.
So, any advice? I'm happy to take advice.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
there's that book.
okay.
Basically, what she does in the book is get you to write the morning pages, where you write 3 pages of, it's kind of like whatever's on your mind at the start of the day,
Yeah.
and it's getting your pen moving. It doesn't matter what you write. It's
Right.
just, and then if you can't think of anything to write, I can't think of anything to write. I can't think of anything to write, and then you start writing again. It's a really good tip.
Super.
Yeah,
Ah, super. Okay, I'll have to check that out.
yeah, it's a
I'll
really
have to
good
check
book.
it out.
Yeah, Julia Carmen, I think, wrote it, but it's a nice one. It's a good one.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'll
Yeah.
have to check that out. Thank you.
Yeah, so I wish you all the success going forward with everything you do, and I'm going to
Thank
share
you,
all your
Mark.
links to your books on the show notes, and all about you as well, about your
Thank
writing.
you. I appreciate that. And I welcome all questions so the conversation
Yeah,
doesn't have to end here from you or any of your audience. I'm happy to answer along and I'll take any tips and tricks. And I know there's rooms for improvement
yeah.
everywhere. If you have any suggested topics for me to write on, I welcome them all. So thank you for
And
the opportunity.
do you have a website, Julia?
I do. It's my name. So it's www.julieta, Julieta,
Julieta,
Cuellar, Cuellar.com, JulietaCuellar.com. I'll be sure and put it here as a
yeah,
comment.
definitely. Because people buy your books from your website as well?
And that's right. There's a link there
That's
to
great.
purchase my
Okay.
books. Yeah, thank
That's
you for the plug. I appreciate that.
no, great. And have you thought about any different merchandise for your books as well as the books? Is that something you've thought about?
I love you always take me to the bigger goals. I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah,
I have visions of having perhaps like a stuffed animal of my characters
right. Because
here in the future. But again, I'm just kind of getting off the
yeah,
ground, and I
definitely.
just feel thrilled to be able to say I have these books in hand. So yeah, I'll have to add that to my next phase, my next iteration of what's going on here with the books.
The onwards and upwards.
That's right. That's right.
That's right, yeah. Yeah. So listen, thanks so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Julia.
Likewise, Mark. Well,
Yeah. And is there
I've
anything
learned
else?
already so much. Yeah.
Yeah. And is there anything else I haven't asked you that you'd like to share with the listeners and the people watching on YouTube tonight?
No, I enjoyed the question, so thank you for allowing this just this comfortable space. As I said, I'm a little bit on the shy side, so you've helped me open up. So I really appreciate that, and just to encourage whoever's listening to keep getting your reading on and helping spread that love for reading across. So thank you,
No, very well done with all you do. It's absolutely brilliant.
thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I'll be looking forward to picking a book myself for my children.
Lovely,
Yeah,
lovely.
yeah.
I can't wait to go to Ireland to do that autograph then.
You're so yeah. Okay. So thanks everyone for listening today to Mark's Motivational Podcast, another Authors Tuesday with another great author, Julia Cuellar. So, and for listening, everybody, to the podcast, and join us again for the next one. Take care and the best of luck, Julia.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, Mark here. Thank you for watching another episode of my Authors Tuesday podcast. I recently published a book of children's stories called The Adventures of Larry Lamppost and Friends. The book began life as bedtime stories I wrote for my own children. If you'd like to purchase my book, follow the link in the description box below. By buying my book, you are also supporting my podcast series for authors, which is giving a voice to writers in Ireland and across the world.